All right, I'm gonna reset the room because everybody just came in. So I know a lot of y'all don't know what we're talking about right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and reset it. Welcome to Four Facts Podcast. This is show number 15. It's your boy Gemini, aka B Scott. I got the co-host that's with the most as always here with me, Dan Yeezy, in the building. It. Right. I got a special guest hosting here with me too. My girl Moni in here. Decided to tap in with us. Tap in. So today's show we tapping in. I labeled it opening closed doors, and it's basically tapping on to the topic of you've been in a relationship with someone before, or you dealt with someone in some kind of capacity, and later on down the line when y'all are done, y'all went y'all ways. It could be months, it could be a year, it could be a couple of years, and they hit you up out the blue randomly asking you questions about your relationship because they haven't fully let go, basically asking for closure, right? And I feel if you hit somebody up that late in life asking for closure, you're not really trying to close that door. Either you're trying to reopen that door, because you still have some feelings involved and trying to see where the person's feelings are, or there ain't no or to me. Like that's the only thing. I know y'all got or. I don't really see no or in there. That's all I got. So So I mean, some of y'all out there, and I say that's a woman's thing. I see I got a lot of women in here right now. So me personally, I say that's a woman's thing because women tend to hold on to that aspect. Not all. When I say women, don't mean all. I'm not giving everybody a blanket. It's not a blanket statement for everybody. It's just like majority when I say that. So women tend to hold on to past relationships and don't know how to let go. Especially if somebody they feel they truly loved and they like really saw themselves with, and it didn't work out the way they wanted, and it ended by the person they were feeling decided to end it. Then I think it's something harder for them to let go of. They'll constantly find themselves looking for answers they'll never seem to find. They'll keep looking for that same feeling they have this person inside their new mate, which won't let them have meaningful relationships moving forward. But men, on the back hand, usually can move on faster. And then when we do move on faster, then it usually comes back on us as if, hey, you never cared for me. There's no way you could have cared for me if you moved on with yada, yada, yada.
Y'all got superpowers.
Yeah.
But see, I think also the difference in that is that in dating, right, like it is, men are taught to be the seekers and women are taught to like just make themselves available and wait to like get sought out, right? So unless the woman is a go-getter and willing to like go after the men that she wants, and she's sitting there waiting, like, that may inhibit her speed or her rate of getting back out there. However, I think that just has a lot to do with why men get back to dating faster, because in order for them to not get over something necessarily, but I mean, like, the best way to get through something is to keep moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's with any task, challenge in life overall. You know what I'm saying? When you start getting beat up, you don't just lay there. You got to keep going in order to make it through. And but sometimes women just aren't ready to do that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes women are rather like cleanse themselves of the hurt, the pain, they want to get a minute to remember who they are, and they have to take the time to remember exactly what they want before they decide to venture out again. Because sometimes if they're mothers, you know what I'm saying, they're also looking at the people that they will be introducing to their kids. And then if they're not mothers, shit, they lucky they get to run them up. You feel me? They get to do what they want. Are there anybody want to say anything? Any comments, questions, concerns? No?
But yeah, I don't think I would reach out to nobody after like.
What is a time frame? What's a good time frame?
I wouldn't put a time frame on it, but.
We just said like after so long, it's no point in
I think
like,
after a year for sure, it's like, all right, like just Just
after
stop.
a year, see, I feel like it's like, I feel a year feels like a long time.
I mean, it is, but I'm just trying to be fair.
But I was being fair because I was thinking, you know, a year. But the more I thought about a year, I'm thinking about like so now I'm thinking about my own personal dynamic, right? And I'm looking at like how I feel and the person that the person that I feel like I am and the person I'm becoming and stuff like that. However, I do come across these instances where I'm like, dude, like, it would be really dope if like we was just in communication right now, right? Like not even on no romantic shit. It would be really dope if we were still in communication right now. But I'm like, as much time has went by, you know what I'm saying? It feels like done. You know what I'm saying? And I did do the whole reach out thing, and you know, on some whole platonic shit too, and it was still very short, cut and dry. Like,
what was your purpose though?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, because my purpose isn't to rekindle anything.
It's just to reach out.
It's just to I want to be a friend. I don't know how to initiate that because like based off, okay, so I guess that was a filler to see if you would even be receptive enough to even want to have an engage in a conversation. And since I got like a real dry response, I'm like, all right,
it's a no-go.
And I'm gonna just leave it at that. So I guess I did a water tester to even see if it was even worth checking out, and it wasn't. Like in my opinion, it wasn't. So I didn't go any further. Anybody got an idea on what a time limit? And this is, I would say, for mine, this has been about 8 months.
8 months with no communication?
No, not 8 months with no communication. 8 months since the relationship has pretty much since the ending of the relationship, and then I would say a complete 4 months of absolute no communication.
Okay, I'm almost at a month.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I had an ex that reached out after we broke up. I think every year she would reach out, and I would be cold because I'm like, it's no need. Like, I mean, I did leave abruptly though. It was kind of cold, but it was necessary.
Yeah.
And
was it a toxic relationship?
Yeah, I would say it was. So I basically left. Like when I left, like we was in a whole other state, and I came back home, didn't go back, that type of thing.
Mm.
And it was like I always knew she was gonna hit me up, and every time she would hit me up, trying to get answers, and I'm just like, you know, that's been over with. Like you still trying. To this day, she's still watching me.
So in a situation like that, right? So the reason I said it because I know I wasn't wanting to do that, but since you know your situation was to where you left abruptly, you didn't give no answers why you left, no shit like that, and that person's still calling for answers, would you be more inclined to give her an answer? Or you still doing some like fucking shit?
She had answers. She refused to accept it. I think that's what it was.
So the answer you had wasn't sufficing what she needed.
Yeah, or she just didn't want to let go. I think that's what it was.
I think that plays a lot into it too.
But I was over it.
Right. So at what point do you realize that the person isn't looking for closure? They're looking for
fishing
their way to another attachment.
You said, what was your question?
It depends on how they deal with you, I would say. Like, how they communicate with you, maybe.
Right, like, cause like at first, like the reach outs may be like, all right, you looking for closure, so I have those few conversations with you or whatever. But at what point does it start to feel like bro, like there's we did the closure talk, we did like. How many conversations,
it could be one conversation. It's the tone of the conversation. Like, you sitting back and they ask you questions, you answer the questions, and then questions get more and more intense and more deep. Then you understand, like, now it ain't about closure. This is the engagement you looking for that you want, that you ain't had, that you missing, because apparently whoever you've been dealing with, not as deep as I was. And you start to realize that now on the back end, you know? So now you looking for something that you done lost. But when you had it wasn't fully appreciated. You know what I'm saying? I was the one wrong, this, that, and the other. But now I'm also wrong, but I decided to leave. Let me go in peace. But now that I'm going in peace and I found my happy place, you ain't found yours yet. Now you want to dig back into my life and try to figure out what went wrong when we were together back then. This is what went wrong. You know what I'm saying? This closure you looking for, you not understanding where I gave you closure, now you need it again. That was the problem. You know, like the lack of understanding and the communication level being thrown off, like, because communication is big.
Yeah.
And I'm big on communication. But, like, being big on communication is also understanding you got to know when not to say shit, too.
Yeah.
You know?
Or how to say it, I guess.
How to say it.
Yeah.
How to say it.
Because I think with me, at a point, like after so many times, I became like frustrated by it. So I was speaking out of anger. I mean, I was meaning what I said, but it was still like, the more like I was mean to her, the more she just kept coming at me. And I'm just like, damn, like, okay, I'm gonna ignore you now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can't. Oh, man. You gotta study behaviors. You can't just be mean because attention is attention.
It was
right. Annoying though.
No.
I know.
Attention is attention. It doesn't matter if it's negative or positive.
Right.
And then, like I said, somebody who already feel that way about, they know who you are already. So when you go hard on them, they already say, okay, I know this person's hard, so they're a good person. But when they go hard on me, now that means some feels behind that too. I know how the person moves. So
if I can get over to the other side of this hardness, I'm in there.
It was impossible. And that's what I think. That's why I was, I had to put on that type of aggression, because it was like, I want you to get it.
All right, yeah. So I'm gonna ask y'all ladies out there inside the podcast world, man. Look, so I don't know if any of y'all ever reached out and looked for closure in a situation or made something like that, but tell me, what do closure do for you guys? Like, you've had a situation that was good to you and it didn't end the way you wanted it to, and you still want an answer. Like, so what does that closure do for you? And do you ever really find it? Don't all speak at once. Just raise your hand on Clubhouse if you want to tap into that question. I see my Facebook folks. All right, Deja, you up first. Your mic is hot, Mama. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
So closure to me brings clarity, and also it kind of like lets you know where you stand moving forward in that relationship with the person. And
so when you say moving forward, you mean like as far as you can have a friendship or not or things like that? That's what you mean?
say it again.
When you say it dictates how your relationship can go moving forward, so you mean as far as if y'all can be friends or not, or whatever the case may be, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like in every aspect, like how is your friendship? Like how should you be a friend to that person moving forward? Like it kind of like gives you clarity on how to maneuver moving forward in that relationship if you choose to be, friends or whatever. And then what was the other question?
I was asking, do you ever really find the closure that you're looking for?
Oh, so I mean, I feel like it depends on the person. If you know who you are and what your expectations are and boundaries are, then I feel like you can find closure if you ask the right questions, if you know exactly who you are, and
But is there ever any right answers? Is what I'm saying, because it's always you answer something. That's going to get questioned as well. So it's going to turn to more and more questions. So it's like an open-ended question where it keeps going to deeper and deeper and deeper questions. You know what I'm saying? So is it ever a correct answer to the question you want to ask? Because if you're finally getting some kind of answer to some questions you want, the questions going to be endless, because now you're getting something that you're looking for.
Right. I get what you're saying. And so for me personally, it's not about having, this person didn't say what I wanted them to say or right or wrong answer. It's more so just basically having or letting it be known how you feel or whatever. Like, basically they need to just say what it is that they need to say, and then you just take it for what it is and then move forward. You can take it or leave it, basically. Like, let that person be that person.
Okay, I got you on that. Okay, so let me ask y'all. So when it comes to closure, right? Do you think closure only comes from a situation that just didn't end healthy, right? Like because I don't really know if relationship really ends just healthy like that, right?
It's rare, but I think if things are made clear and there's like no loose ends, then I think it's possible.
For just a healthy split.
Yeah, for just to part ways, no communication, anything. I mean, I've had a few of those situations, and yeah, it worked out.
Good. So you believe the same thing, Ms. Yeezy?
That what?
That there is what type of situation garners closure? Like, is there actually a type of situation where you can end a relationship and it ends to where you don't need closure? Like, is it possible to have a type of relationship?
It's definitely possible to have like for instance, it's like sometimes it can be a bad breakup, like like for instance, when
I want to hear that one. What just made you laugh? We didn't hear that one. What just made you laugh? We hear that one.
Like when my ex had a baby on me, it ain't no. Like when we was together and then you ended up like, oh well, I'm having a kid. There is like no real, like, I'm not gonna lie, change is hard for me as a person. So it was just like a drawn out process because we have been together for 5 years. So we had things that needed to be severed, right? Like, so throughout that like length of time or whatever, like, but at the same time, like, it's over though. There is no closure. The only thing I need to close is these accounts,
right?
that are costing me money. That's the only thing I need closed. Other than that, and once all of these accounts are closed, I swear to God, I got my money, and that's the lie. I haven't talked to the person since, and I have no desire, no need. There is. Sometimes the closure is the thing that ended the relationship.